exact thing that I was thinking, which is what could be inside this long of a box. Which does make quite the pleasant noise, but it is in fact a kitchen knife. And if you paid some attention, then you would know that it was my birthday on the 20th. Thank you for all of your birthday wishes. I don't think I have received that many birthday wishes in my entire life, so thank you. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna be doing some tapping and showcasing a little of what I got. So this box, which came with this nice kitchen knife, which looks a little janky up here because I haven't cleaned it. There's a sticker. So I think let's just pay attention to this side. Now, do not try this at home. I get a pass because I am a professional. It is very sharp. That's why it's got a cover. It's got some weight to it too. And I am definitely looking forward to chopping some stuff up in the kitchen with this. It's funny because my dad had ordered this one, this exact knife, and he thought to himself that he would want one for himself too, so he ordered a second one. But that one was bigger, and it was sort of like a set where it also included things like a whetstone, or at least something that sharpens up the knife once it gets dull. And he told me to unbox both packages, which I did. And firstly, I had unboxed the larger one, and I was like, oh, I like this so much, I don't even have to look at the second one, because I thought, well, there couldn't be that big of a difference. Now, the other knife was about this size, I would say. Like that. Like, take this size and then add a couple more inches or centimeters. But anyway, I didn't want to unbox the second package, but then I unboxed this knife, and I thought, well, this one's a way better fit because I don't really need any extra shenanigans. I'm fine with just having the knife. I don't need something to sharpen it with or whatever. I don't think it's gonna get dulled that fast. But yeah, that's how I got this knife. And I think if you have some experience with cooking at home or just cutting fruits and vegetables, I think you'll know that it's a lot more enjoyable if you're using a sharpened blade. I also heard that there's a higher chance of cutting yourself if your knife isn't sharp. Like, if it's not as sharp, there's a higher risk of cutting yourself, which I think is quite ironic because that kind of seems to not make sense. But after you put a little more thought into it, you'll realize that if you're using a proper tool that is supposed to do things as intended, then there's a less likelihood of you messing up with it, if that makes sense. So I think what happens is if you use a not so sharp knife, you expect it to be sharp, and that's why you handle it that way. But it isn't what your mind makes of it. So you're deluding yourself in some sense. But I mean, I've used dull knives, and it's not like they don't get the job done. It's just something nice to have. And I mean, you're probably not gonna buy a whole lot of kitchen knives in your lifetime, so I think one should go a long way. Maybe I'll do an updated video if I'm still using this knife in like 5 years, and if I can vouch for it or not, but we'll see if I remember to do that. But yeah, that was my knife. I did get a new winter jacket, which was very needed. I don't think I'm gonna show it right now. I might do a fabric scratching. I might record a fabric scratching video with it, and then you'll see. So check this out. This is something I got from a very close friend of mine, and it says, "More than a card, a gift, perfect for framing." And it is by Manifestations Incorporated. And I'm guessing it's just like a card, but it's a fancy one, and I quite like it. I might frame it. I'll have to see. For now, I'm just gonna process described here. So they say, first we do a drawing of our design in fullest detail with pen and India ink. From this drawing we make a plate which, impressed upon a metal surface, produces varied depths that convey an iridescent effect and the illusion of movement. Finally, we mount the work in ways that we have learned serve best to initiate the magic of change. And then it looks like well, I think this is just trying to boost their marketing. And I have looked right through them. In my cardboard video, I said you can only fold a piece of paper 9 times in half. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, 5 is this piece of paper's limit. I can't go to 6. I guess you could. Okay. Well, the limit is 6. I guess maybe it's not more than 7. But given this piece of paper is not standard A4, but you get the idea, right? Look at how much more pressure you need to hold this together than the first fold. with some goodies. We've got some sandalwood incense, 50 sticks. I don't think I'm gonna use all of them anytime soon. And it does also come with this little stand. I'm not gonna open it. But I think this size of incense is a lot nicer because I have some that are like double and they take a very long time to burn. Fragrance that creates a mood of tranquility and peace of mind. And man, that smells like, it smells like my grandparents' place for some reason. I didn't even know that the smell of their place was sandalwood, but I guess now I do know. But it does remind me a lot of my grandparents. And I think that's about it. I didn't really wish for anything or anything like that. I mean, yeah, a new phone would have been nice, but it would also not really be necessary. I mean, as long as this one's working. And once this one breaks, I think that's probably the time when I'll get a new one. Not to say that, you know, getting nice things on your birthday is frowned upon, but I don't know, man. I just buy things when I feel the need to. That's what I'm trying to say. But I also don't really know, like, what to tell my parents to get me. I think it's a lot nicer if they come up with their own ideas and gifts. But nevertheless, any kind of gift should be celebrated, in my opinion, because if someone's going out of their way to give you something, I think you should always be thankful, no matter what the gift is. Obviously, that's kind of bland, and you could say, well, what if someone's gifting me a drink with poison in it. Obviously, I'm not trying to. I'm not talking about backhanded gifts or gifts with ulterior motives, but rather gifts that come from a place of love and appreciation of one another. Gifting is also a language of love. Like it's a literal language of love, just like complimenting or giving compliments or helping someone out or spending time with your partner. There's a book called The 5 Languages of Love, or The 5 Love Languages. And I think everyone should know about the love languages, because if you don't know about them, then you obviously can't speak them. And if you can't speak them, then there's a chance, a possibility that you're gonna act out the love language that you like, because if you like it, that means the other person should like it. But in reality, their love language is something completely different, and you end up talking past each other. And this is how a lot of relationships come to an end, because people don't realize the language of love the other person is in need of. But if you're interested, then just go and read the book. It's super helpful, and I think everyone should be familiar with the idea. At least if you're trying to improve your relationships with people. Now, I think this concept is rather catered towards romantic relationships. I don't think. Well, I mean, if the topic is love languages, then I think it's kind of obvious that it is about romantic relationships, but I just wanted to clarify that. But yeah. I did also have this It's probably really annoying if you're trying to sleep, so I apologize, but if save my life, then you can actually do that right now by subscribing. And yeah, other than that, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or a pleasant evening. Take care of yourself. Stay safe. So, I can see you in the next video, alright? Love you. See ya.